Hello guys. Good morning. You sleep okay?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's our last day.
In a beautiful morning, by the way. Yeah?
It is a stunning morning, eh? I just can't wait for that to pop over that brush. The sounds are incredible, eh?
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Think
like,
about the quantity of species of birds we have in the Pantanal. So
well,
many.
I mean, talking about that, I mean, we're almost on 100 birds, not even trying. Just by the way, oh, there's a jaguar, oh, that's that, oh, that's that. I mean, and what's that? On a good day, if we were really trying hard, how many birds do you think we'd be able to tick off?
Over 200.
Wow.
Like you can do like 100 species in one day, in a birding trip. Just like that, man.
That's insane, eh?
Yeah.
But look, I mean, we've only really we were 3 days. 3 days, so yeah, not bad. I mean, for non-birders, well, you're a birder, but I mean, non-trying birders, we all love birds. But yeah, it wasn't the focus of the trip, was it? But yeah, sure. I mean, it's hard to believe. It feels like we've been in the Pantanal for about 2 weeks.
True, that's true.
It's been such a whirlwind there. And it's hard to believe we have to go home. Yeah, I mean, the highlights, there's so many for me. I think I'd like to, before I tell you mine, I think I'm going to go around and ask you yours.
So my highlights of the trip, being here so many years, you know, doing the Jaguar since it started, being over 20 years in the Pantanal, and then you spend a morning like we had yesterday watching a Jaguar just, you know, in front of us, hunting a caiman, man, and then dragging it out, and that was definitely my highlight of the trip.
Yeah, so my highlight, besides everything, and I say it all the time because it's so, this world is completely removed from what we're used to on, you know, safaring in Africa. But on top of the Jaguar sighting, the first Jaguar, and the bird life, which is just absolutely mind-blowing, was the very first morning, that sense of excitement about opening the door, going out and hitting the river. But before that even happened, we opened the door and there were like 10 to 12 capybara just lying outside the door. And this was something I've been dreaming about since I was a little boy to see. And now they're literally on your doorstep, literally. So that's just something I'll never forget. They're very cute, like big hamsters running around. And this is my favorite moment. One of many, but something I'll never forget.
For me, there's many favorite moments, but I would have to say my highlight is the Jaguar catching the caiman right in front of the boat. I mean, that sequence from start to finish, you cannot script it. You know, if I'd have imagined a sequence before coming here, I couldn't even imagine that, because that is beyond gold. The first afternoon, when we arrived and we got Juru lying there, you know, when you first see him in that golden light, I was like, if we don't get another image, I'm happy. And then Juru goes off hunting, goes in the water, we document him catching a capybara, and I'm like blown away. Afternoon 1, done. You know, the female and the cubs was super good, because where do you get that kind of interaction, that time, calculating where they're going to be, getting all that footage? I mean, that was super impressive, because we're in such capable hands. The guys at SouthQuest, I mean, are really well trained, and I mean, the teamwork between Alan and you, Ricardo, was incredible. This anticipation of what the animals are going to do, that is as impressive as seeing the Jaguar, because I think so many people come there and they at the sighting as it happens, and then the animal moves off, and then they're always trying to play catch up. We weren't at all like that. We were always anticipating and getting the action coming towards us, then anticipating. So we were filming sequences, which was actually a highlight for me too. Obviously coming here is incredible. I mean, it's been a dream come true for me, honestly speaking. But I know, you know, this trip's not about me. This is a very important ecosystem. It's very important to you for many reasons, besides the fact that you are in love with the place, and I can see that because the passion bubbles through. But what does the Pantanal mean for you, Ricardo Casarin, and for what you're trying to do here with your company?
So the point is, Brazil has not a strong culture of ecotourism. It's changing. And then everybody talks about Amazon, everybody talks about Atlantic rainforest, and then now, so I've been in the Pantanal for 24 years, and to see the Pantanal coming out for the world, it's really, really special. And to see it going, happening, we see how much the tourism brings conservation for the Pantanal, naturally. Like, if I talk about the Pantanal 20 years ago, nowadays we see more wildlife than we used to see 20 years ago. You know, along the road, you know, the jaguars, and it's clear that the ecotourism is bringing the conservation. And for us as a company, you know, SouthQuest Safaris, that is our goal. We want to bring people to see this place, and automatically, consequently, it will be bring conservation to the Pantanal. And then so far, this is my favorite place in the world, been leading trips, you know, all over Brazil, South America, beautiful places, beautiful biomes, but I'm from here. You know, this is my place, this is my home. And it's like, you know, the beginning, always like the beginning. And that's the point. Pantanal, man, it's another thing that always brings it. Like we are, for many years, looking to Africa as an example. You know, the touristic places of Africa, South Africa, Tanzania, Namibia. And then I have a saying that the Pantanal is the South American Africa. And then I have this feeling. I had the privilege to be in Eastern Africa before, and the Pantanal has the same potential or similar potential. That's why probably it's my favorite place.
Yeah, I mean that's incredible. I mean it's important. I mean it really is important to show people these lost kind of wilderness systems, pristine wilderness systems, and I feel like we need to just make people appreciate these systems more and more and more. These areas, they're unique, they really are. I mean, I had the feeling when I was in Antarctica of this feeling of like you're in a place where very few people have been able to go, but also that feeling of this is an unspoilt environment. It's untouched by man, and it's nice to know that there are still some places like that left in the world. And I think this is very close to that. When I came here, I felt, wow, man hasn't been able to really mess this up good and proper, and isn't that worth protecting? So I mean, I would say to anyone watching this, book your ticket. I mean, come and see this place, come and witness the bird life, come and witness the fauna, the flora. It's incredible. You, Cam, I mean, you are you've been to some amazing places too. You're involved in wildlife tourism. You run a company that basically puts these packages together, hence the friendship budding between you guys. Why is this important? What's
I think from a tour operator perspective and someone who's passionate about opening, you know, the eyes of your average person, or your person who's feel like they need to live more and explore more and actually see what's out there today. Coming to a place like this where you can focus on tourism, but also getting in touch with the natural world again in a completely different way to Africa. But I mean, you're still passionate. You're still, you know, you have that love for exploration, but then you get here, and like you say, that the pristine wilderness is, for me, the key to a place like this. The bird life, the the fauna, the flora, everything, the trees, the greenery, the sounds. You can't compare it to anything else. So I think from my perspective, I feel like a sense of duty to get people out here and to help them, first of all, get in touch with the natural world again, but to live, just to actually live, because you can't describe the feeling. When you are here, you feel like you are actually living.
My purpose is to bring these places to people, and I think from what we've achieved, we've certainly gone away, I think, with the best of the Pantanal, and I hope it inspires a lot of people to come visit you. You've been a remarkable host, a remarkable guy, funny.
It's definitely my pleasure.
Yeah, it's been such fun, because you know, these trips can be good, but if you're around serious people and everything's taken too seriously, it's not as fun as when you are with somebody who's witty and clever and joking, and we're all on a good vibe. And when it's time to get serious, you can hear a pin drop. when we are like busy doing our stuff, you can't even hear us breathing. We're like, for like an hour, and then afterwards we're all joking, and that's what's made this trip absolutely memorable. So thank you.
Thank you, man. Thank you.
Cool. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
Pity it's not a beer, but anyway.